Known for its diverse climate and thriving plantation industry, South India offers a unique opportunity to integrate avocado cultivation with existing crops like coffee, tea, and spices, potentially enhancing both economic and environmental sustainability. However, while prospects are promising, there are several challenges. We at UPASI also have been focusing on avocado because it's quite ideal for our tea soils. So let me now invite Mr. G.V.K. Naidu to make his presentation on prospects and challenges of avocado planting in southern India.
Thank you so much, Sridharan sir. On the first outset, I sincerely thank UPASI, Mr. Sridharan and Mr. Matthew for giving me this humble opportunity to be present in front of the eminent stalwarts from the plantation industry of both tea and coffee. Like he already introduced my background, there's nothing much we could add to that other than we started this, the earlier speakers, one was a professor and the next one was a scientist from AI, but I come from a humble background of a growing, and I'm a grower and into agri business since last 25 years. Like I told you, we first started pomegranate business, and we have been the pioneers in India. Pomegranate business, and why aerials? When pomegranate fruit is there, why we started aerials? Sam Agri's philosophy, we considered we need to be in a kind of a niche and unique products which others are not there. So that's how we thought, how can I present pomegranate to the international consumers in a different way than a wholesale, whole fruit. So, and the whole fruit had an issue of opening the fruit, and it was messy, and that's how we made this product. And we were the first people from India to introduce, to initiate, to learn, produce, and export it to the European markets. When I say European markets, as we started with grapes, we already had a basic knowledge of what European markets require, what are their standards, what are the kind of food safety regulations they look at. And this was a further addition because this is a fresh cut category, and further high care kind of an infrastructure was required, and food safety standards were much more critical in this subject. So that's why we started with this. And this continues to be there. Even now, we stand to be market leaders for pomegranate aerials from India. And we stand for about 50%, 55% of Indian exports into the European markets. So while doing this, we were looking for other alternative products, exotic fruit, which others are not doing. So we tried to introduce figs apart from this, and we imported this variety from US, and we tried to promote this. Unfortunately, Indian weather conditions were not that favorable, despite of our trials for about 5-6 years, and we could not succeed in this. And then we were looking at for another alternative product, avocado. So avocado's history, if you look at, the international demand and the awareness and the growth has been happening only since last 25 years. So we were looking at an alternative. Why not we look at this? While looking at this, if you look at any big fruit crop in India, be it grapes, be it mango, be it banana, be it citrus, it has a kind of a research background where government supports it. So when I come out with a new crop, to support it, government does not have proper data for this, nor they don't have any knowledge about teaching or advising the growers. So we thought with our background, with our connections in the international markets for the past 25 years, I was looking for right partners. So I am specialized in one unique product of pomegranate where we have established the market leadership, and we need a similar kind of market leaders who could join hands and take this project further. So that's how we roped in one nursery expert who are good in breeding and good in identifying the rootstocks for various locations and other things. And we also identified one more grower, one more marketing company who's global #1 avocado company. It's called Westfalia. So that's how we started this project. So the journey started in 2016, I would say, 16, 17, we conceived this crop to be taken up and we made our initial studies. And though we started Haas journey in 2018, we were marketing Indian grown local avocados for past 20 years. As Sam Agri started its domestic vegetable business in 2000, we were continuously marketing Indian local avocados, but we were not knowing what exactly is it. But with our exposure to the international market, we saw the demand for Haas, and we identified Haas to be promoted in India. And that's going to be, having its growth potential in India. That's how we started that. And before we started this, we first imported the plants. And thanks to Tata Coffee and my mentor, Professor Changappa, who has been mentoring me since for past 25, 30 years. 40 years is my relation. Because of him, we could get into Tata Coffee. And Tata Coffee, we were very much thankful because such a big organization, they could believe our presentation, our vision, and they started first trials at Palibeta. And after we saw the first fruit, and then we ventured into buying, importing fruits, importing planting material. And while we are importing the complete planting material, the cost of planting material, if you import a grafted plant, it is so expensive. Either it has to come by air only. And we need to look at a way how do I reduce the cost of the planting material to promote the growers. So that's how we requested Westfalia and our partners in Israel to set up this nursery in India itself. Although they wanted us to buy plants from them, we said we need to set up this facility in India. And the first project, we set up this facility in Coonoor, Shaniwar Sante at Sakleshpura. And our partners have been helping us in identifying the right rootstocks, considering various weather conditions across India. Although our presence today and our trials today is only towards southern India, we have not yet tried north part so far. Considering these locations, our partners have identified the rootstocks, and those rootstocks have been planted in our model nursery. Mother plants are there, and we have got various varieties of hash and other different kinds of green skin avocados also as a model plot we have established in Coot, which is available for anybody's visit, where you can find a plant, right, the nursery plants, 1-year plantation, 2-year plantation, 3-year plantation, and you also have fruits for visibility and also harvesting. So we roped in Israeli company in 2019, and then 2020 we could get Westfalia on the board, and then we started our commercial marketing. And 2022, after we started the establishment of nursery and planting system, we wanted to create the market first. Before we start producing the fruit in India, we need to have market for what we produce here. So that's why we started seed marketing of the avocados by importing the fruit. Till 2022, India had access only to few countries to be imported into India. It was Chile, Peru, and only New Zealand. All the material, all the fruits had to come by freight, by air freight, and the cost of the fruit used to be more than 1,200, 1,300 per kilo, a retail price. And in 2022 was the first time one African country, Tanzania, got the market access, and then 22, 23 now, we have got few more countries access into the country. South Africa has got, Kenya has got, and Rwanda is on the pipeline, and Brazil also has got the permission. But out of all these things, Kenya, African countries offers to get the fruit at a lower price because we can bring it by sea. And we also did from Australia some sea shipments, but the cost of the product is very much high. But one unfortunate, I would say it's a negative to our growers is Tanzania does not have duty. It's a duty free because of LDC. Rest all other countries we are paying duty, so the cost of the fruit is high. If we consider as a grower today, and if I'm getting a duty free fruit into the country, so my advantage of growing in India is curtailed to some extent. But definitely as first movers, as whoever start growing in the beginning, they will have the advantage of getting better prices. But end of the day, 5 years, 10 years from now, we all should be prepared, like, we should be focusing on what is the international market could pay for per kilo of avocados. So today we have the advantages of getting a good price, but going forward it has to be international market prices. So how do we start? The strengths of our Western hour today here is, we have got the right partners who are the global market leaders in terms of marketing Westfalia. If I start producing the fruit in the country, in India, and Indian market itself is growing at almost now 100% year on year since last 4 years. Assuming tomorrow we end up growing larger acreages and we are able to convert most of the tea and coffee areas into avocados and our production goes up, we have an access, we have our association with such a big company who are a global marketing leaders, and we can export the product out of India too. That is the advantage of associating with Westfalia. And the varieties and the rootstock support is being given by their research and development, because they have their own R&Ds and they are doing this job, so that we don't have to reinvest on the R&D subject here. So depending on the studies and the survey report details and data what we provide them, so we are choosing the right varieties of rootstocks and the varieties suitable for various locations. And over and above this, when a grower produces avocado, the output what we get, you get from A grade, B grade, C grade, D grade. So A grade only can be an export quality fruit, and B grade could be a next marketable product. And definitely we have C and D which are useless. So with our expertise of Samagri, of creating a value addition for pomegranate, we also think about, we are also in the pipeline to set up a processing and value addition for avocados too going forward once our production comes to the commercial levels. So major challenges, what I see from the plantation areas particularly, it could be tea or it could be coffee. In coffee, we have a problem of shade management. In tea, we have a problem of removal of tea plants. So this has been a major challenge wherever possible, and KDHP has taken up trials here, and Jairam Haukal has done a fantastic job with trials, and the plants have been doing very good. We were there yesterday to visit the plants, and few more tea plantations we have taken up trials. We are expecting at least our growth. Our plan is from now on till 2030, next 5 years, we plan at least about 2,500 to 3,000 acres of avocado growing in India. So accordingly, we are trying to back up with our nursery to produce locally grown nursery plants from India itself. And even here, the first system is we imported the whole grafted plant, and then we started importing the rootstocks and started grafting in India with the local mother blocks. And finally now the next technology has come is the clonal. And even clonal we have started producing in India. So if I have to import a clonal plant today, it will cost me 2,500, 3,000 rupees. But we started producing it in India itself. And next we are also contemplating to do for tissue culture of the rootstocks, the DUSA, whatever it is. So the ultimate goal is to bring down the cost of the planting material and make the farmer appealing to go for this. Water management is one more subject. Actually, in most of these tea and coffee growing areas, water has been scarce because you are not used to irrigating the existing crops, either coffee or tea. So this is something we need to have water management right from the day we plant it. Unless we have that drip installed before you start planting, we will not be successful as per the international standards. So these are the major challenges as of now, and all of us know about it, and we need to find our own solutions for this. If you look at the market condition of avocado today. So Indian imported fruit market now is almost about $2.5 billion. The majority of the share goes to apples, pears, and apples and pears are the major one. And one interesting point you can look at from this slide is after apples, orange, kiwi fruit and pears. Kiwi is something which not many people know about it, and today its market is 67,000 tons. In 2022, the total import of avocados into India was around 200 tons. And today, in last 3 years' time, this year we will be touching almost about 8,000 tons, if I'm right, and it's been growing at 100% year on year. So even if we touch kiwi volume in next 10 years' time, we need something like about 5 to 7,000 hectares of avocado to be produced in India just to feed Indian market. And over and above that, we have rest of the Asian markets close to us, and Europe is also open for us. This is the volume what has been there. In 2018, it was 200 plus. It grew to 400, 620, 1100, almost 2000, 4000 last year. This year it will be anywhere between 9 and 10. By 2020, we are expecting it to be 15. There's a lot of effort being put in by Westfalia here, and luckily, our partner, Westfalia Manor, one of our directors from Westfalia, he happens to be the chairman of World Avocado Association, which is responsible for promoting avocado consumption and creating awareness to the consumers across the globe. So they have been conducting campaigns since last 2 years in India, spending almost about 2-3 crores every year in India just for promotion. It is not coming from Westfalia, it is coming from World Avocado Organization. And of course, Westfalia also has its own marketing plans, and there has been a lot of promotion happening in each and every sector. The advantage of India here, you can see the green lines. Green lines are the months which we expect India to produce, our harvest should take place. Rest of the period, all the blue lines, the fruit is available from most of the countries, particularly from Africa. If you look at March, Africa starts right from March, and it can continue up to September, October, and sometimes late season fruit can also spill over December. But our harvest and our experience for the past few years, what we have been getting harvesting from Tata Coffee and other growers, we start getting in October. We had a small crop sometime in July, August, but the major harvest is happening between November onwards, and it is expected to continue till February. And February, March, April are the 3 major gaps where we are depending today on Australian market to import. So we are trying to create awareness in the market and placing the product in the market all 12 months so that people will not forget, and awareness is created much better. So during this off-season, definitely India will definitely have its price advantage over other African countries. And even if we have excess material, we have scope to export it to the international markets. So the ideal growing regions, after we have gone through all these southern parts of India, particularly the plantation areas, Chikmagalur, Sakleshpur, Coorg, Wayanad, VR Hills, Nilgiris, Valparai, where all our eminent friends who are sitting here represent all these areas. So they look to be the right places. We have taken up trials in most of these places except few in this. Everywhere the products have been doing good. All the varieties are doing good. So, as a grower, as a planter now, if somebody wants to enter new, where do we start? Whom are you working with is your first question. to give you a credibility and confidence that am I with the right partners who can support me with the right planting material, who can support me with the growing techniques, who can support me with the marketing, and who can support me with taking even the last grade material for a value addition. That's where we come from. So we are, we are trying to create a kind of infrastructure or a network or give confidence to the growers that we will take care of all your requirements and we will be part of your business. So we will be responsible in identifying the areas and we will be providing the good planting material, selection of root stocks, and then growing know-how will come from us. Couple of questions may come from us like, can I go for an intercrop? Of course, we have tried some intercrop plantation. This picture is from KDHP in Coonoor, where we have planted with coffee. It's under trials now. We need to see the commercial feasibility of this. And we are confident once the plant grows, probably we can take out the rest of the tea also, if the government permits. Thank you.
So any questions for Mr. Naidu?
Good morning. So this is Dr. Dinesh Jain. I am from Indian Institute of Plantation Management. So I have one or two, quite basic questions. The first thing is you have mentioned about water management as one very big problem for avocado, production. So in what sense, can't we look at the micro irrigation, etc.? So is, water quality a issue or water quantity a issue or management a issue?
One is the water quantity, I would say, because avocado is such a plant where the fruit takes almost about 8 to 11 months for fruit set to harvest for the maturity. That depends on the kind of climate and the locations where we grow. If it is in a cooler place of zero, if it is touching 0 degrees or 2 degrees kind of scenario, it will take almost 10 months time for the fruit to mature. In little warmer areas, it can be harvested in 8 months. But you need to have the fruit watering on a regular basis because fruit is there always on the plant.
So second question is, can we look at contract farming model or similar models as we have in tea?
By and large, what we are working with our friends now with Tata Coffee over it's a kind of a contract farming. I wouldn't say it is a written contract where we work with you people, we support you, we supply you planting material at most reasonable prices. We help you in growing and we are also buying back the material from you. I mean, that's the first right of refusal we are coming with option of first give it to me, if I don't take you are open to sell outside.
Okay, the last question, it's the third one in a sense. So can we look at, processing not just avocado as a fruit, but as other products, processing, processed products, etc. Can we look at that? Because US, etc., it's prospering like anything.
I mean, that is the reason, that's what I explained to you. We definitely come out with an end-to-end solution. It's not just we just want to sell the plants and get away from the field. We want to be with you people, we want to be there with you growing, grow the plant, buy the fruit and create a value for whatever the grade you guys produce tomorrow.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Naidu? Okay. I'd like to thank Mr. Naidu for that excellent presentation on avocados. And I'd like to invite our past president, Mr. Prashant Bansali, to hand over memento to Mr. Naidu, please.
Thank you once again, everybody, especially UPASI and Sridhan and Matthew sir, for this great opportunity. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir.